She was smiling, that same gentle smile I used to wake up to. The one that made mornings softer and life feel just a little less heavy. Now shining for someone else, the same curve of her lips, the same glimmer in her eyes, but none of it belonged to me anymore. I saw them from across the street, sitting at the little coffee shop we once called our own. Back then, it had held our laughter, our secrets, our shared dreams. Now it cradled her and someone who wasn't me. She laughed, head tilted back, eyes glowing, and something inside my chest gave way. Not in some cinematic outburst of emotion. No grand dramatic collapse. It was quieter than that. Like the slow, soundless breaking of an old beam finally giving in under the weight of time and neglect. I wasn't supposed to be there. I hadn't planned it. I hadn't expected it. But maybe fate has a cruel fondness for perfect timing. I stood there just a second too long, foolish enough to hope she might glance my way. She didn't. He reached across the table, fingers brushing against hers, and she didn't flinch, didn't pull away, and in that moment, it hit me not as a thought, but as something undeniable deep in my bones. We weren't taking space. We weren't figuring things out. We were done. I turned around, heart sinking like it carried anchors with every beat. Each step felt heavier than the last, each breath harder to catch. I didn't cry, not then. There's a kind of numbness that settles in first. It doesn't sting, it suffocates. I remember the night she left. She stood in the doorway with that look on her face like she was already halfway gone. She said we were drifting, that things had changed, that she didn't know who we were anymore. Maybe she was right. We had stopped dancing in the kitchen, stopped holding hands at red lights, stopped saying I love you just because. I blamed work. She blamed timing. Neither of us blamed love, because deep down we both knew it had already left us quietly, long before we had the courage to say it aloud. So when she packed her things, I didn't fight, didn't raise my voice, didn't beg. I just watched. Part of me believed she'd turn around at the last second, but she didn't. I stayed in that apartment, the one with creaky floors, too much sunlight, and the ghost of her in every corner. Her scent lingered longer than her presence. I still checked my phone at midnight, hoping for a message that never came. Days blurred into weeks, weeks into months. I tried dating, tried pretending, tried smiling at strangers in coffee lines, but no one felt like her. And maybe that was the problem. I wasn't meant to replace her. I was supposed to outgrow her, but I hadn't, not yet. So when I saw her that day, laughing with someone new, I told myself that would be the closure I needed, that seeing her happy would free me, that maybe it would finally break whatever spell I was under. It didn't. It just carved the pain deeper, etched it in a different language. After that, I disappeared for a while, deleted apps, avoided familiar streets, changed my coffee shop. I didn't just need space from her, I needed space from the version of myself who loved her. The man who waited, who wondered, who held on longer than he should have. Weeks later, it rained. One of those rains that doesn't feel like weather, it feels personal. The kind that arrives without warning, soaks through skin, and stirs up things you thought you'd buried. I was walking home, hood up, head low, thoughts drifting from everything to nothing. The sidewalk blurred beneath my feet, the world gray and heavy. And then I heard it. My name, soft, fragile, familiar. I turned. She stood across the street, drenched, hair plastered to her face, eyes locked onto mine like no time had passed. Mark, she whispered again, louder this time. My God, it's really you. I didn't move, couldn't. I wasn't sure if I was dreaming or slipping into some memory that had come alive in the rain. She stepped closer, tears mixing with the downpour. I've been looking for you. 100 questions rose to my lips. Why now? Why after so long? Why after I saw you smiling with someone else? But she spoke first. I saw you that day, at the coffee shop, she said, voice trembling. I didn't know what to say. I blinked. You looked happy. I wasn't, she replied, and her voice cracked. I was pretending. I kept pretending for weeks, but it never felt real. Then why? I asked, barely above a whisper. She looked down, then back at me. Because I thought you'd moved on. You let me go so easily. I thought maybe I imagined it all, everything we were. Her words spilled out between raindrops. I loved you, still do, But I didn't know if you'd want me back. And there it was, the truth. Standing in the middle of a storm, soaked through, shivering, and raw, I didn't say anything right away. My heart thudded wildly as I tried to make sense of what her presence meant, of what I was supposed to do with all this unfinished ache. I was wrong, she said, eyes full of apology. I walked away thinking I'd find something better, but all I found was how much I missed you. Silence stretched between us, but it wasn't awkward. It was heavy, full, like it held all the words we hadn't said. Finally, I spoke. I waited. Her breath caught. Not because I thought you'd come back, I continued, but because I didn't know how to let you go. She stepped forward, hesitating only a moment. I don't want you to let go. Not this time. I want to start over from the beginning, if you'll let me. I stared at her, the same girl who once shattered me, now standing in the rain asking to be part of my story again. Forgiveness isn't easy, trust even harder. But love doesn't always disappear. Sometimes it just hides, waiting for the right moment to resurface. Was this that moment? Maybe the storm wasn't an ending. Maybe it was the beginning. I reached for her hand. Her fingers curled around mine like they used to. And for the first time in what felt like forever, the rain didn't feel cold anymore.